What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going over everything that's wrong with my Jeep Grand Cherokee. So clearly that's going to be a very long list. There's a lot wrong with that Jeep right now, but I figured I'd make this video before we get too far into the build so you guys can see what we're starting with, exact spot that we're starting with a lot of the different projects we're doing. And you guys can just see when we're done how much we've changed this Jeep. It'll also be cool to look back on once the Jeep's done. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, let's go over the giveaway winner from last video. And if you guys didn't know, we're giving away a decal pack every single video we upload from here on out. So all you have to do to enter is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment your Instagram username down below. With that being said, let's go over last video's winner. So the winner of last video is Q_stir01 on Instagram. Check your DMs, we sent you a message. Alright, so let's go ahead and just get started with this list. It's going to be a pretty long list because there's a lot wrong with this Jeep. But for starting, it's going to be the bedliner job that I did not like. So as you guys can kind of see on camera, it's not very even with the texture. There's some spots with little texture and then some spots that feel like sandpaper. So I want to get a pretty even spray on there. So I'm going to have to finish sanding that off. And then I have spray on bedliner for it. Next up on the list is going to be, well, as you guys can see, I'm missing one of the hood struts here. So we're using this hammer. Works fine, but definitely going to need a hood strut. That's a super simple mod. But I do want to clean up the engine bay a little bit, change all the fluids in the Jeep, probably put new spark plugs in it. Just give it an overlook because it has been sitting for quite a while. So I want to clean everything up, make sure it's all good. The battery won't hold a charge, so I'm going to need a new battery. Another thing that we're going to need to do with the Jeep is the suspension, because the suspension is like 4 years old and it's all sagged down and destroyed, needs new bushings. Another thing you can see is the tires are all clearly flat, and so we need tires, but I'm going to wait until we do the suspension first. Another kind of crazy thing that's wrong is all the lug nuts, or all the wheels only have 3 lug nuts for some reason. I'm not sure where the rest of the lug nuts went, but it doesn't really matter because we're putting these axles under it. I did order a ton of parts for this, so I have the C-gussets, I have to move these coil buckets over. I got a full truss from Artec for this axle. I'm replacing ball joints, high steer knuckles. We're just going to replace all the like hubs and everything like that. I'm going to get chromoly shafts for it. But we're going to build these axles up and swap them under there. The axles should replace a lot of our issues just because I won't have to fix the ones that are under there. Another thing that doesn't need to be replaced, but I want to, is a tank tuck. So you guys can actually see where the spare tire used to sit is in there. So we're going to cut that out, take the old fuel tank out and then raise it up by cutting the brackets and welding it back together. So that'll probably be an upcoming thing before I build the rear storage or anything like that, just because it needs to be done first. Next up on the list is definitely going to be like steering and stuff like that. So as you can see, the steering is super small, not very strong. I'm actually going to need wider steering for these axles because they're a little bit wider. So I'm going to have to order some JK steering for this, which actually is kind of a good thing because it opens up to a ton of different options. But look at that steering compared to the steering of my Wrangler. This is 2.5 ton steering, and then this is stock Jeep Grand Cherokee steering. So definitely going to upgrade that to some aluminum steering of some sort. Not sure on the brand yet, but I do have to order new steering anyway for the axle since they are 2 inches wider. So that'll look cool once it's under the Jeep. That's definitely something I need to replace. Headlights are another thing I need to replace. They leak a little bit of water inside of them. So new headlights on the list. Also taillights. I don't have to replace the taillights. See, is it this one? No, it's this one. So as you can see, one of them has a hole in it. I'm just going to replace them since I'm replacing the headlights anyway. Not a huge issue. Another thing back here is the evap system little plate thing. As you guys can see, this thing is rusted out, or this plate is. The whole Jeep's actually not in terrible condition, but this has a lot of rust. Probably going to relocate that. And then another thing with the front is the wiring inside of the door. It's split open. I fixed it, not the best, a couple years ago, but I'm going to take that apart and fix it the right way now and get it all set up. But as you guys can see, there is a lot wrong with this Jeep that needs to be fixed. So This is going to be a pretty long series of fixing the Jeep, getting everything set up the right way. But it'll be awesome to look back on this video and see how far it's come and see how much we've changed on this Jeep. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.